do that. Recording in progress. Sorry.
The only thing that I was curious on, so when we do like the social media stuff, is there a way to have both our faces on the same video or does it cut back and forth?
Well,
I don't know
remember
if it really matters,
that
but
was the first one we ever shot, I think, and
yeah.
I didn't figure out how to share screen like this yet.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
they
because I
have,
couldn't I couldn't remember.
yeah, I don't even think they've touched the ones where like where we're doing this right now, where we're sharing the screen. So,
Okay. I was just curious.
um, no, yeah, no, that's on the new ones. So now that they're diving into like the newer ones after we figured that out,
Yeah.
we should be good now. I would hope anyway. So, oh,
When
yeah.
are you getting all your new setup?
They'll probably come in here sometime this week. Um, well, next week. I just have to take a video of what I have now, and then they'll order me stuff accordingly because they already got me a new camera and a different
What
ring
camera
light.
they get? Do you know?
No idea. Um, and then I think they're gonna give me a different microphone stand. Not really sure why, but they kind of want me to like leave this stuff up all the time and I take it down. So,
Mm.
but anyway, that's not as important. So, new ring light, new camera.
Well, you
Um,
don't even have a ring light, do you? Get that little one?
no, I got one now. That's what's weird because like it's completely blocking my view of my screen, but I
Hmm.
forget it's not being shown in the camera, but it's just blocking my view of the screen, so I can't really see myself, but that's okay.
Huh.
So
Yeah.
no, yeah, I don't really care.
Oh. All right. Well, I
What are
think
you eating?
I made like a I had ground beef at the house that I needed to cook. And
Okay.
then I had like Spanish rice. I was
Yum.
like, then I put like, I don't know. I just made like a hodgepodge of kind of like a Mexican bowl almost.
Okay.
Um, and it's like kind of healthy-ish, not really, but it works. No carbs. I don't have like, well, I ended up putting a couple like Fritos in this thing, but I don't have any like tortilla chips or tortillas at the house.
Oh. Oh my God. When we were in Colorado, I I took a little nap and when we got there, because I was a little tired. And the other dudes went to the grocery store by themselves and they came back with like my favorite thing ever. It's like that Tostitos cheese dip in like the glass jar.
Mm,
But then some idiot bought lime tortilla chip,
oh, chips.
and there was not a hint of lime. It was like full on Coke.
Uh,
So I couldn't even eat any of it. It was disgusting.
well, that sucks actually.
No, it was
I guess
disgusting.
lime chips with cheese would be
It
weird.
totally and yeah. So I played a joke on Tyler. I made toast and I like rubbed the lime chips on the toast so it would taste like lime flavored just because we were all just very disgusted by by the lime chips. It was disgusting. So
Yeah, bad choice. How was it? All in all, it was a good trip?
yeah, dude, Colorado's a blast. It's um yeah, I mean, I really have never like I've been to Denver, I don't know, twice. I don't count my last time there because I was there for 8 hours to get my passport. But it's we went in on Friday. We didn't really do much Friday night. Saturday we went into like Golden and Evergreen and just kind of like bar hopped a little bit around some of their breweries and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And then we went to Red Rocks for the reggae, got poured on at the end of that. Had to sprint back to the car like some David Goggins shit. And like we're sprinting through the rain and like jumping over puddles and fences and that was interesting. And then
Yeah, because you got to park like way down at the bottom of the hill,
no,
right?
we actually lucked out. We parked in North Top. So
Oh,
we had
good
to
for
go up
you.
3 stairs and we were there. It was amazing, actually.
Yeah.
Because when I looked at those other parking lots, I was like, oh, I ain't going inside.
Yeah, last time I was there, we were at like the bottom. We like
I was
hike
like,
all the way up.
I'll just listen to the music out here in the car. I'm not doing all that.
Yeah.
So But I mean, all reggae music kind of sounds the same to me. So that
Yeah, me too.
just was like, hey, great, they're playing the same song again. That's right. And then yeah, so then we went back and then on uh and then Sunday we just kind of woke up and went to this little breakfast cafe in Idaho Springs. And then
Mhm.
we took Tyler's Razor up into the mountains and just kind of razored around for like 5 hours up there. That was kind of neat. Um, and then we went to Black Hawk Saturday night. And Sunday we
You want
came.
some money?
Yeah, I won $600. So it's a lot different than I normally do at the casino. Well, let me correct. I didn't win $600. I lost 480. I left with 600, so I was up 120. But
That's still good.
oh, I know. I mean,
You're in the positive. I hate gambling. I don't know what it is about it.
so I've started to play table games now, and it's so much better. Like slot machines suck. I mean, I could lose like $500 in 6 minutes at the slot machine.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't
But
do slots.
at table games, it's just, I mean, we were there for like 4 hours at the same table. And then
Damn. What were you playing?
what?
What were you playing?
Well, I wanted to play roulette, but the tables were too full. And so we sat down and played uh some sort of poker. Can't
Okay.
remember. But I mean it's fairly easy game to play and it was really hard to lose. So I mean there were a couple of hands that we lost on, but which was fun. So you sit there for 4 or 5 hours, you get free drinks the whole time. So I mean it's
Yeah.
even if I would have lost like a couple $100, I mean I can't like go to a bar and spend a couple $100 in like 5 hours. I'd spend a lot more money.
Yeah.
So but yeah, we were pretty happy with that, I would say. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, spent a lot of the time out that way.
So
Golden's
yeah, so
actually
I
one of
went
my
to
favorite cities.
because that's where you went to school, right?
In Denver, I did. My ex is from Golden. So I used to go to Golden all the time, but we played a school, Colorado School of Mines. They were in our conference, so we
Yeah,
would
we
go out
drove
there
right through there.
every year.
Yeah, we drove right through.
They got a cool campus. They're all like
They
engineers
do.
and
Yeah.
smart people.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, they were
Very
doing
much so.
I think it was orientation on Saturday when we drove through there. And
Perfect time.
yeah, they were just all walking around like
Yeah.
big nerds everywhere. Right. So is that where
Yeah.
her family is from? Is in Colorado then?
Yeah. Yeah. She went to high school there, all that. Her family still lives out there. Her parents do. And I haven't been out there in a few years, but Denver, I still go visit all the time. I still got a lot of buddies out there.
Denver's a cool spot.
Yeah.
The last time I was there in recent memory was when I went there to get my passport. So I was there for like 8 hours and that was it.
Yeah, that's not
But I
fun.
took that train thing from the airport.
Hmm.
Have you ever been on that?
Hmm.
That was kind of
Yeah.
an
Go
adventure.
straight downtown.
Yeah, I know. That was
Hmm.
kind of an adventure. So, but that's neat.
It's cheaper than an Uber.
Well, yeah, definitely. But I mean, it's certainly not as short as an Uber, but it's cheaper. But I mean, I didn't have anything to do. So it
Yeah.
was like a Sunday night. And I was just like, well, I'm not going to do anything here. So I took the train in and then I hung out in Union Station for a little
Yeah.
while at the bar. So that worked out well.
Sweet.
Um, so I went for jury duty today. Have you ever been on jury duty?
I did. God, I don't know if I was in high school or if it was just after. No, I think I was in college, maybe like my first or second year of college. I made it to like almost the final round, but I got cut.
Oh,
I was there like all day.
yeah.
And
What? All day?
yeah, it was, they made, I don't know what, however it was, I made it to like the last like section of, um, hold on one second. Oh, I'm on that.
Oh,
You out?
no, I'm about to go run official real quick.
Okay.
That's right, no joke.
That's what made me. Jeremy said hi.
No. What's up?
Um,
Um.
yeah, so I made it to like almost the final round. I ended up getting cut.
Oh, at that
Whatever
point,
reason.
might as well just like stay and go.
I know, but it's all good.
Yeah. So I was worried I was going to be stuck like on like some murder case or something because like I can't really run a real estate business like from a jury deliberation room. So I was kind of curious, like, if I get stuck there for like 3 months, what happens to my business? But anyway, tried to get out of it, couldn't. So just went down there. And it's such a weird deal here. So, you know, there can only be 12 jurors plus like a third plus number 13 is like a sub.
Okay.
And but there was like 45 of us in this room.
Uh-huh.
And you know, we went through all the crap, and then they're like, hey, when we call your name, come get your number. So they take 21 people first, they get numbers. And then anybody after that, they just called your name. And I didn't know this, but that has its own order, but you just didn't get a number. So then we went into the courtroom, and it's just, you know, obviously like defendant, plaintiff, their attorneys. And then you have the 21 people in the jury, like over onto like the jury side, and then the rest of us are just sitting behind the attorneys doing nothing. And so they ask like the whole jury selection question. It was kind of riveting, actually. And everything, I was like super stoked. I was like, cool, these guys are answering these questions. Great. I'm not going to have to go up there. Awesome. And then some guy, it was discovered that he's a felon. So the judge is like, how'd you even get up here? Like you didn't, she was like, they didn't catch this downstairs. She's like, you can't, like, yeah, you can't be on a jury if you're a felon. And so it was just funny. And so he got dismissed. And then I was like, fuck. Because, you know, then they got to call somebody from our little random,
Yeah.
like 15 people. And then that's where it came into play. I guess the order in which you were called after that 21 is the order that would have been selected to go replace somebody on that 21. So even though you didn't have a number, that's kind of the order they went in.
Yeah.
So I was like 10 deep. So I was pretty sure that I wasn't going to be called. And then after that, it was just pointless because they'll eliminate some of the 12, but it'll just be from the 21. So anyway, then the rest of us got to go home. But it was a car crash, like where I don't know, some lady got injured in a car crash. So the other lady or the defendant admitted guilt and that it was her fault. But now the plaintiff wants a bunch of money for stuff. And so that's what they had to decide.
Wow.
Yeah.
Big day today. Yeah, it's pretty wild how that court system works and all that.
I just think we should have like professional jurors.
Yeah,
Because I mean, a lot of people like they can't like do things like non-biasedly. Like
right. And that's my whole thing too. It's like everyone has their own bias, and like, how are you supposed to pick 12 people that
well, I mean, the jury
aren't?
selection is like supposed to do that, but
Yeah.
there's still like there's this one lady up there. She couldn't answer. They would ask her, like they'd ask questions like, have you ever been in a car crash? Do you have like an ailment that you've had forever? Because obviously I think the lady that's suing like has injuries that are affecting her, and that's why she's suing.
Yeah.
And, you know, so then they'd ask this one lady, you know, who's been in a car accident, like, or no, that was her question. She does all the billing. She's a receptionist at a doctor's office, and she does all the billing stuff. So she'll look through files and she notices people on disability, and she answered the question as, I see people take advantage of that all the time, insinuating that like the plaintiff girl is taking advantage of the lady and
Yeah.
trying to get free money. So they're like, well, would you be able to like look at this case unbiasedly? And she's like, I don't know. I don't know. Well, that's not that hard. Like,
Yeah.
you can't take any of that. So it's just, I don't know. I feel like, and like, so I watch a lot of like the ID channel, you know, and the murder channel.
Yeah.
So like every time that somebody that goes to trial and they get off and like everybody's pissed off at the jury because they made up their own opinion. Like the point of a court case is to like, if you do a good enough job with evidence presented to convince this person that someone committed a crime, it really doesn't matter if this is like the worst person on the planet prior to that court case. If you didn't do a good enough job in the court to like prove that about that particular incident, but you have to vote that he's not guilty. Too many people don't do that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's really interesting. I could never be an attorney.
oh god, no! Like this one guy, totally
Yeah.
like buttering him up. It was great. And then the other attorney got up and she's like, I'm not going to be as good at this as Mr. Sewell. And I was like, why would you say that?
Yeah, why would you open that way? Yeah.
That's like me walking in and being like, well, I'm not going to be as good as that listing presentation, but let's give it a go. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, that's
so
dumb.
yesterday we lost out on an offer. And I hate this phrase where an agent says, well, we took another offer, but I'll let you know if it doesn't work out. No, that's basically like a chick telling me, I'm gonna date someone else for like 30 days, but if that doesn't work out, I'll call you. Like we're
Yeah.
sit over here in reserve.
Yeah. No, that's
I get like really frustrated when people send me that text message because they just want to.
well, I mean, it's really frustrating because your offer was actually better.
Yeah, that was that. Yeah, that.
So that doesn't
Still,
make any sense.
no, still
And I
bad by that. Still
yeah,
bad by that. But
that's that's not okay. But
no, what?
I mean,
Well,
if they come back to you, your offer is gonna be worse.
well, of course.
Right. Yeah.
It's Wednesday. What are you selling this week?
Well, I had two closing. Well, I have two closings. One yesterday, one Thursday.
Nice.
But gotta get some more stuff in the pipeline. I think that's kind of the name of the game right now. We had a pretty good first half of the year, and towards this last couple months, things I felt like are slowing down a little bit, especially with buyers. If I can get some more listings, all the listings are selling, which is good. But
What's
the
your
buyers, I feel like are just kind of on the fence.
Has your market time slowed down?
Yeah, I think it has. I mean, it's really odd because there's some houses that will still get multiple offers like first
Yeah,
weekend.
same here.
So inventory is still low, but there's also like houses I see on the market for 200 days.
Oh,
Like I was doing some research on one that we did a video for to helping another agent in our office, and he ended up canceling it. They took it off over the summer for whatever reason. It's like 1.3. It's definitely a unique property, but at the same time, like it's weird. We're seeing kind of all of it. My last couple listings were like in the $400,000 range, and they sold like the first week or two.
it's so strange here. Like
So
I have this like 300,000
yeah,
house in a little suburb outside of Omaha. I mean, it's actually 10 grand below comps. We've had one showing in like a month. Can't figure that
yeah, that's crazy.
out. Hmm.
Yeah, I don't understand it. I don't know what,
And then like luxury
but I
stuff
also see like
still like luxury stuff is still, I mean, that still sells pretty quickly here because most of those people they're not getting a loan, they're paying cash and
yeah, I'm not worried about the rates and all that.
not at all.
Yeah, I got one. God, I've been waiting for these people to. I have the listing signed, but
Mhm.
they've been just dragging their feet on like staging and getting the property ready. I don't even have access yet. Like, and it's been. I think I had the listing signed. Like, I don't even know. 6/24. So June 24th. I've had it for almost 2 months.
Who pays for your staging? You or them?
I actually got a. Well, I'm gonna have the. It was actually their idea. I thought the house looked pretty nice as it was, with their own furniture, but they want to get it professionally staged, so they were.
Hmm.
So I got a couple of referrals for them, but they're gonna pay for it.
I had that happen like so because I staged a lot of listings, but I went out that lake house I was at yesterday shooting a video
Mhm.
and I gave them the stager's info and then they just like went with it. They just like called her, hired her, they paid for it themselves. I was like, well, this is different. And
What do
then
you typically do?
what?
What do you typically do?
I pay for it. Um, I don't know, it's just kind of, it's like, so I have Verizon, they're my cell phone provider, and like they've thrown all this like random shit into their monthly payment so that you feel like, oh, look at all this, I'm getting like 30 add-ons, but it's all my monthly payment. Like you feel like you're getting a deal with
Yeah,
it. So it's sort of like the same thing. I mean, it's either like, I can throw in staging, which costs like 2 grand or this or that or whatever, and I can
yeah,
charge, the full extra like percent instead of going from like 6 to 5. So, I mean, the house is, 1.6
yeah,
million. So that's like if I do a 1% difference in commission, that's 16 grand. Or I can tell them, I pay for staging and I do this and I do that. So I group it all together and then
yeah,
they're getting more of a value, which they are. But,
yeah,
and then I'm still like net positive on the overall number. So,
yeah.
but then on
No,
this
that's
house, I
smart.
went out and um, I bought all the outdoor stuff, like the volleyball net and like the croquet set and all this other stuff because I really wanted to highlight the outside. But me and my stager made a deal that I'll just buy it up front, and then when the listing sells, she'll just buy it back for me for half price because I don't.
Nice.
Well, and that's what I would have paid anyway had I rented it from her. So it just
Yeah.
works that way, and I don't. I
And
have
then
no,
she has the stuff. That's a good idea.
I have no need for a volleyball net. So
Not yet.
yeah, I don't know that I'll ever have a need for a volleyball.
No,
Mm,
I do. We used to do sand volleyball back in high school at one of my buddy's houses, and it was so fun.
And that
So
was, that was high school, right? Okay.
yeah, dude. Well, you can still do adult
No,
volleyball.
remember my rule now. Over 30, golf it is. That's it. You learn that the hard way. You injured yourself.
Yeah, golf. Yeah, I had PT today, but things are looking up slowly but surely.
I've gone to physical therapy once and it was for headaches.
Huh. I've done quite a bit of PT in my days,
I'm not an athlete,
but
so I never injured myself, knock on wood.
well, you can
But
be.
I'm
It's a mindset.
I'm also not gonna have like bad knees and all that shit that all you
I was
athletes.
gonna say you're on, yeah. All your joints and stuff are probably better off than mine.
Oh yeah, like my uncle's like had his shoulders replaced like twice, his knees.
Yeah,
It was because he was an
that'll be
athlete. And then his whole, I mean, like his whole career has been like up and down ladders, and he's been a contractor and all that stuff too. So that doesn't.
oh yeah, that doesn't help.
But here I am. I'm
Yeah.
just going to be agile as could be at 60 years old.
There you go. Love that.
Probably not.
That's the plan.
So yeah, you came to Omaha last week for Explosion. Tell us how that.
Omaha, that was fun, man. You know, the people there, Vince does a really good job of, I think, getting good speakers. And to me, like, I get to meet a lot of people from different networks, and being in Arizona, it's a good place to get a lot of referrals.
Mhm.
And so that's kind of my goal when I get there, is to just meet as many people as I can, or build deeper relationships with people I already know, and try to get some referrals out of it. But at the same time, like, learn some things and try to implement some new stuff into the business. And I think were you there for the opening, Jimmy Burgess? I don't know if you were there. I don't think you were there or not. He
No,
had
I
a
was in
really
bed.
good, yeah, you were. He had a really good like opening speech talking about, and I'll bring my notes out real quick, which kind of went on the same lines of part of my little spiel that I had on the panel. But Jimmy Burgess went to Napa for the first time, and to a winery.
Mhm.
And he had this whole speech about, how to have your best year ever. And he talked about the winery stuff and like kind of made it into like life lessons. And I'll run through this real quick if you got some time for it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Everything starts with good soil. So steps for preparing your soil is become a student of the game, build more and deeper relationships, express gratitude to clients, and SOI, which are events, notes, gifts, have your listing presentation on lock, utilize video at a higher level, and then market your face off. So that's kind of like the foundation of everything real estate. And he talked about how one of the wineries he was at in Napa, they had the traditional California grapes that were growing there. Everything was fine, but they wanted to import some French grapes because the grapes they tasted better or whatever. So they ended up, this winery imported these French grapes, and within like a year or so, the ground developed some bugs that ended up killing all the roots of these grapes. But the California vines were immune to these bugs, whatever they were. So they ended up grafting. They had the root of the California grape, and then they grafted the French vine to that. So the root would be, it would withstand all the bugs and all that, but then the grapes would be the French grapes. And it was pretty amazing. So
Wild.
his next part of his little speech was like, who are you grafted to? It's like, you need a good foundation of somebody else, and you can't do this alone. So join a mastermind group, find a mentor or coach, and then surround yourself with the best people possible. Which I think is a pretty cool like idea, to be like grafted to, really good people. And, they say like your top 5 friends are who you are your top 5 friends, or your combination of them all.
I like people like Jimmy. Like, we all know people like Jimmy, but you and I probably could have gone to the same winery and never analyzed that situation like
at
that.
all. No.
When I have like so many people in my life that they just like find, it's not like hidden meanings, but it's just like, they can just put stuff like that together and
correlate it all to life.
Yeah, and it's,
be inspirational about it.
I mean, most of us just like go through life and really have no idea.
Yeah.
That like all that stuff kind of happens like for a reason, and it's just really funny that he just kind of turned it into that, and it makes total sense. It's just, we never would have thought about it that way or looked at that situation that way.
Never. Yeah, at all.
No, never. No.
Yeah. So like, and this was like the very beginning. This was like the first piece. This was at 9 a.m.
Was this
on
outside?
Tuesday
Did he
morning.
do like a general session or was this the kickoff outside?
This was the kickoff. No, this was right after the kickoff. We did like the rah outside, and then
Oh, okay. Right.
Vince talked for a few minutes, and then Jimmy took it over. And this was like, to me, honestly, was like the perfect start to the whole week. If I didn't go to anything else, I would have been good, because this for me, just in my life personally, was like such a good motivation and just stuff to work on. Felt like he was speaking to me the whole time.
That's good.
So that was good. So the next part,
That's what
he
a good
talked about
start is.
pruning.
So
Yeah, it's literally, it was like perfect. I'm like, dang, Jimmy, I love you. So he said, who are the suckers in your life? So like pruning, you got to prune the vines and get all the bad stuff off. And so he's like, who are the suckers in your life? Start identifying them, say no, be less available, be purposeful on spending time with positive people, and then choose your 5 wisely, which, you know me, man, I'm trying to get rid of that toxicity in my life. And so that
I
was
know.
also a good
Right.
so we're working on that. That's a work in progress. Control your environment. Without storms, the roots don't develop. So he's like, there's always going to be storms and changing seasons. And, with the bigger the storm, usually the deeper your roots get and the stronger you are. So there's going to be stuff that happens in life that will help develop the strength you need to get through it all. Practicality wise.
Did you ask
Huh?
Jimmy, like how deep a root can go? Because some of mine need to stop growing.
I didn't. You can ask him that though. You can tell him we had this chat, and
Okay. All right.
who knows? You're gonna have the deepest roots, man.
Yeah.
I know seasons always change. So practical things to do is reduce your debt, increase cash savings, time block your schedule. And then again, he said, choose your 5 wisely. And kind of the last part of it was you have to prepare for the harvest. You can't maximize your harvest without the help of others. So he was big into that. Checklist systems, build vendor relationships. After your closing, do some client follow-up and get like a good transaction coordinator, admin. And then let's see, what do you need to prune in your life in order for new growth? Eliminate all unneeded expenses, take inventory of the past 3 years and find out, like 3 years of clients, and find out where they came from. Choose your 5 wisely. And then he said, fine wine takes time. So trust the process and, start working on it every day. And sooner or later, you'll be fine wine. So there you go.
Yeah. Well,
That was good.
So a couple things on that. One, the fine wine takes time. I've never wanted to start a team because every like team in Omaha is they're like lead generation based. So they spend like 20 grand to 100 grand a month on like Zillow leads, realtor.com leads, whatever. Right. And then I've never really taken leads. I've just always just been relationship guy. So like that saying kind of fits in perfectly with me because I've always wondered like how I'm going to teach people that, like, why are people going to want to come on my team when they just want like instant sales? And I'm just going to kind of be here just being like, well, I can't really teach you instant sales, but like I can teach you things to like slowly grow over time to where, 8-10 years from now, like you don't have any issue with sales. You don't have to take leads. You don't have to do anything like that. So that's kind of
Yeah.
fun. I like that little saying.
Yeah.
What are your two?
No, it makes a lot of sense.
What are your 2 most unneeded or unnecessary expenses in your life right now?
Oh man. I think I'm overpaying for one of my platforms that I use for like website stuff and CRM things. I think I can dial it down. I'm on like the top tier package, and I just don't think I utilize the products and what they offer like nearly enough. And I think I could put that money towards like other lead gen type things, or like even just like, I don't know, client appreciation stuff, like spend extra money on that, or like take people to sporting events, or like I can use that money and allocate it way better with what I like to do and what I'm good at.
Totally.
Or throw it into some marketing or something like that. So that's probably number 1. Number 2, I mean, I think I could just honestly just do a better job of utilizing some of the stuff I pay for. Like the CRM we pay for, like I can definitely dive in deeper with that. I have HomeBot right now, and I know HomeBot's an amazing tool, but it's linked with a lender that I don't use.
Oh,
So I haven't really been blasting it to anybody, but I'm
right.
still paying like $25 a month for it. And although it doesn't sound like a lot, but it's like I'm just basically throwing money away for
Yeah, but I mean, like if you do
like
20,
little stuff like that. Like
yeah, if you
just
do
implementing
25
it
bucks a
better.
month times like 15 things that you don't use, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that's
Yeah.
there are
How
a
about
lot.
you?
So I did that. I did that thing where like you sign up for it and you put in your bank information and it like tells you all the subscriptions that you have. And I was floored by stuff that I've paid for like 5 years that I've never used.
Hmm.
There was like
Maybe I
a
should do it.
tanning salon on there that I haven't gone to, if you can't tell, in like 5 years. And I remember because they want you to go in to cancel it because it went from like 50 bucks a month. And I was like, yeah, let's just get rid of it. Can I go here? Well, they want you
Yeah.
to go in. And I'm like, who's got time for that? And they do that on purpose. So instead,
Yeah.
they just like froze my account. It was like $7 a month for the last like 4 or 5 years. And like,
That's
you don't really care because it's like $7 a month, right?
yeah,
But
but for 5 years.
yeah, you add that up for 5 years, that's money. A lot of money. And you
Hmm.
do that times like 10 or 15 things. It's silly.
Yeah, I should do that. That's honestly on my to-do list this week is, and I told you I'm kind of resetting my goals for the end of the year and trying to get a house and all this kind of stuff that um just prioritize saving a little bit, not blowing all my money and
Right.
making more sales and just kind of readjusting and getting back to getting on track with everything.
That is
So,
such a hard thing to do as a business owner.
oh,
Not even just a
yeah.
no, just like in fact I had a buddy down the hall come into the office and tell me, and because he's I don't know, he's turning 50. He's going to buy himself his first Rolex in California this weekend for his 50th birthday.
Love that.
And we just talked about how like we just spend money as soon as we get it. And
Yeah.
I do. And I don't know. I mean, like I've like on the flip side, I've seen a lot of people have money and spend it all and go broke. So like I save a lot of money too, but like I buy some of the dumbest shit that I just don't need. And
Yeah.
like you can ask my
Yeah.
family, like I've become like really lazy about so like we have our Airbnb here, okay? And my business partner tells me all the time, he's like, hey, I'm out of town. I can't make it out there today. Can you go like take the trash out? Well, I forget because I just, too much going on in my brain. Well, so then I have to pay this kid $30 to go like move the trash because now I've missed the trash people. And so now I have to pay him like $30 to go pick it up and like bring it to the dumpster at work. So like I'm just notorious for just stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like because like I'm not lazy. I go to the gym 4 days a week. I work a lot. I'm just like forgetful or just don't give a shit about just like all this other little stuff. And then I just end up paying people to do it all for me. In fact,
Yeah.
my toothless friend Colin told me that God will never let me be poor because my gift is being able to pay people to do things for me. I was like, well, your mouth to God's ears, Colin. So,
That's funny.
I'm just like, I can do all those things. Like I mowed my lawn as a kid. I can mow my lawn. I don't have the time or the desire to
I
go
would say
mow
the
my own
time
lawn.
nowadays. I think I spend a lot of money on like food and like trips and
But I mean, like
golfing.
trips are fun. I mean, like trips
Yeah.
create memories and like, and I mean, I had a client call me today and I was kind of scared of this one because he was like, you've been traveling. And I was like, yeah. And I'm like, I need to like retool my social media for September. So like clients can't
Mhm.
clients can't see that either. But because I'm gonna be gone a lot in September. So but I just, I don't know. 2023 has been like the most stressful year for me, but it's also been the most fun.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know. People like put us on this pedestal that we're supposed to be available all the time. And I just recently discovered now that I have a team of 17 people, like there's a bunch of people here that can do stuff for me that actually like want to do stuff for me.
Mhm.
They get to learn. And so it's just time that and that's always been a goal of mine is to have the team and then I don't have to be here as much. So I'm finally kind of relinquishing some of that control so that they're able to do stuff for me.
Love that.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah,
So
I think
give me
this has actually been probably my favorite year and recent years. The last couple years have been really stressful. And this year I think I've hit a new stride, and I've traveled literally like every month this year.
Love that.
Yeah, it's
I
been
know
awesome.
I have to find somewhere to go in October, but we'll
We
get
can
there.
figure that out.
Oh, I know.
We
I'm
can,
not. I mean, I'm
we
not
can
that
do
worried.
that. You know, I might go to Raleigh, North Carolina, if you want to
Oh,
come with.
fun. Oh, I mean, I do love North Carolina,
Never
and
been.
because the weather starts to get crappy here in October. So
Yeah. So
that's why I really,
Raleigh's
that's why I really
beautiful.
need to buy Jay's townhome so I can just have a place to go.
Dude, that place is sick.
It is. I know. He showed
It's
me pictures, and I told
really
him,
sick.
I was like, yeah, but you have to sell it to me furnished. And he goes, I can't do that. I'm like, Jay, it's the same
Yes,
furniture that's in your house in Omaha. Just go rebuy it.
yeah, he
And he's
can
like,
sell.
well, why can't you do that? I'm like, I don't want to do that, Jay. Like, I
It's
literally
sick,
just,
dude.
I just want to bring my clothes and just shit's already there. I'm like,
Yeah, it's an amazing place.
yeah, I'm
Like
just
if
like,
it
I
was
don't.
closer to like, well, it's a little far from Cal and
Hmm.
everything I got going on up north in the office and all that, but like, dude, that place is sick.
I
I was
know.
pleasantly surprised with how
I
nice
know.
it
No,
is.
the inside looks great. Like the furniture's great. It's
Yeah.
total like bachelor pad vibes. And then everybody,
Very much bachelor pad vibes. And I was like, yo, me and Maylee should just go in on this and live together.
yeah, but then everybody that I like send it to is like, oh, gross, the area's crappy. Don't move there, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like,
Yeah,
well,
the area is kind of it's right next to a car dealership and
technically, I'm not moving there. Well, that's great
yeah.
because apparently my car needs service all the time. So it can just, as long as it's a Porsche dealership, I think we're in business. Fuck that, by
Oh,
the
that's
way.
another thing, dude. That's on the
Money
car
in it.
front. Yeah, that's you're spending some money on the car front.
God.
That's that's a
So that car currently is in the worst situation that I tell people you can be in a car. So like you either have like an extremely high monthly payment because it's brand new but it needs no repair, or the thing's paid off and it breaks down all the time. So all you're doing is spending money on that. Or you're in the middle, which is where this stupid car is for me right now, which is that it's not paid off and you're still having to spend a bunch of money to repair the damn thing. Stupid.
yeah, that
But
sucks.
I need to get it
That's
fixed so I can race Tyler in his pickup truck again so he can stop thinking that
oh, you'll smash him, dude. That's
yeah.
yeah.
So that he can stop
Mm.
thinking that you know. So
His
anyway.
yeah,
But no,
Duramax is faster. Yeah.
yeah, so but it'll get nice and fixed and then I can go fast again. Although I don't know why. I don't know why anybody would buy like the Cayenne that I currently have as a loaner car. They're so boring.
Yeah. Oh, is this the base model?
Well, no, I mean but I don't really know what it is, but I mean it's not all like souped up like the one I have, and like
Yeah.
it just looks boring and blah. I just don't know why anybody would spend like 115 grand on that. It's weird.
Yeah, yours is sick for sure,
Mhm.
but a $9,000 bill isn't
Should
very
be
fun.
should be sick for that amount of money because that's dumb. Dumb.
That
So
is dumb.
Jimmy talked about mentors in his speech, you said. So who's your mentor? Like who was your mentor and like who's your current mentor?
You know, I think there's a few different people for sure that come to mind. And it's not just, I mean, obviously it's not just business, it's family and relationships and, all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, I think my dad just starting out, like since we worked together, he's kind of on the tail end of real estate world,
Mm.
working type of thing. So, I think he's kind of business. I think I've learned a lot since I'm being in this business for 11 years now. 12 years, 11 years. He's very much old school in a lot of things. And I think he could have done a lot of things differently.
Okay.
But also like I see work-life balance with him,
Okay.
which is something that I think that's pretty amazing. Because when I first started, it was just all work. And even like the last couple of years, it was just like all I wanted to do was work and not have work-life balance. And I think that's why a lot of like personal relationships went down the shitter. And then also why I think this year has been so great for me because I've worked, but I've also played and
Yeah.
had a life outside of work. So, I think I learned a lot from him just in that regard. Business mentors, like, I mean, I think there's been a lot of people. I don't think I've had one that I could say is like, has been the most important one. I think it's been like people throughout my journey, just like giving me advice. Like my lender friend, I say friend, but my lender that I use is owns his own mortgage company, is starting his own bank, and invests quite a bit. And I've just learned a lot from him in the banking side of things, I guess, or like
Sure.
building and that. And then also like, I mean, just Vince, seeing them. And I mean, I don't know, you've been a pretty awesome like friend and like a business person that I feel like I could imitate somehow. You've done a lot more business stuff than I have, and we're like the same age, so it's definitely motivating that, you know,
You went to
you're
college
there
for
not
5
the
years,
whole way.
and I didn't, so
Yeah.
I had
Um,
a 5 year head start on everybody.
yeah, but still. I don't know. There's just a lot of people in my life that I think have helped shape who I am today. And I mean, we're still, I think, truthfully, I think we're still like on the bottom of where I could go. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, no, I would agree.
so yeah, I don't know. How about you?
Well, so I had two different mentors in real estate when I started. One was like the company given mentor. His name was Bill, and he kind of helped me with like just all the like paperwork stuff and all of that. Like every week he would give me a new scenario and I'd have to like type up the contract and give it to him.
Mhm.
He'd like go through it with me and all that. So like he helped me learn all the technical stuff and technology part of it and everything else. And I mean him and I are great friends and he's just a big goofball. But I mean our businesses are two totally different things. He does a lot of like low income type of things and like that's just where he grew up. That's what he's comfortable with. He's an incredibly smart real estate mind. And I mean, I wish that he could have a little bit more higher end clientele just for his pocketbook, but he doesn't want that, and he's happy where he's at. But he's incredibly smart, so that was great to have that. But I mean, then my actual like mentor to get where I was today was Ralph Nico's dad.
Mhm.
Just 3 to 4 meals a week with him, listening to him talk on the phone, going on appointments with him, just like because I was stuck in the car. And I had nothing else to do. So like just what I learned um over the time that I like spent the most amount of time with him, which was like a 3 year period,
Mhm.
was invaluable to me. I mean, put me in the right circles and made me be able to talk a certain way about real estate, have certain real estate stories. I used to tell his stories as my own all the time. So because my friends didn't know who he was, so they had no idea. And it just made me sound a lot more experienced than I was at the very beginning. So
Yeah.
and I mean like and I mean I saw like the good and the bad with that. And I had a bunch of deals go sideways, like with him. Him and I had like a huge blow up one time at each other, and we worked our way through all that. And and then I think I've told you that before. Like real estate really wasn't the same after he passed away, and
Mhm.
there's really not like a real estate coach or mentor that I have anymore. And it's not like to be rude to anybody. It's just I just don't look up to anybody like I did him. So now I mean like I have like other business people that are coaches and mentors. And I have like, I have lunch with them once a month. I talk to them once a week on the phone. And I like their outlook on life as opposed to just real estate outlook. Cause realtors are going to tell you everything's fine, everything's dandy, blah, blah, blah. And
Yeah.
these guys, they just like look at things from a different perspective. And not that they're negative. They're just, I like when they tell me like, oh, this and this is happening. So it's going to be good for interest rates. Like they talk about other things not related to real estate and then they relate it back to real estate for me. So they're super smart people, and they're all down to earth, and they've all accomplished a lot, and like they've reached this phase in life where they know that they've made it, and now they just want to help other people.
Heck
So
yeah.
I'm blessed to have them in my life.
That's awesome. Yeah. See, I need more of that, I think, in my life. Finding people like that.
One, it's hard because you can't just like make a goal and just be like, I'm gonna go find this guy at the bar. Like
Yeah.
you have to like my one of them's name is Mike, and I mean he's like helped me out before, like buy flip houses and do this and do that. And like if I ever caught myself in a weird situation in the past, like he would help me out with it. And he just retired a couple years ago from Kiewit because it was just a really stressful job and it made him sick and whatever. But um my brother was like his nanny for a long time for his 4 kids. Like they take him to Final Four, they take him to Hawaii, like almost wanted to adopt him if my mom would have let him. And so I wanted to meet him. so my brother introduces us, and the first task that I got, it sucked because I was like, this isn't what I wanted, was to help him find a tenant for one of his rental houses. And I was like, I don't really do that, but whatever, we'll give it a whirl. So, like, I do all the things right. I like meet people over there, show it, give all the info to him. You know, I'm not like a rental agency, so I didn't like run
Yeah.
background checks or anything. But I ended up, he just calls me today. He's like, I'm extremely busy. He's like, I don't have time to like run background checks, whatever. He's like, who gave you the best feeling? And I was like, no, I don't like that. But he made me answer it anyway. So I said this lady. Well, like a year later, he calls me and he's like, well, he's like, I had to evict her. She hasn't paid rent in 9 months. I'm like, 9 months? How do you let 9 months go by? And he's just like, I just got busy at work, and I just like, it's the same guy that my hairstylist rents from him, and he like won't cash her rent checks for like 5 months at a time because he would just get too busy. And I had to call him one day. I'm like, you can't like do that to someone like on a budget. Like they just have like $10,000 sitting over here in the bank, and then one day it just goes away. So he finally like learned to be better about that. But anyway, so he kicks this lady out. She leaves all of her shit in this house, and this was like my opportunity, right? I was gonna. One, I kind of felt bad, even though it was not my fault. I felt bad that the tenant that I told him to go with just screwed everything up. So I just volunteered. I was like, I'll go clean the house out for you. Not sure why, but anyway. So me, Bill, Ralph, and then my brother went over there. We picked up like the biggest U-Haul you can get and the biggest dumpster you can get, and we cleaned out this whole house. It was disgusting.
Ugh.
Like her husband or boyfriend or whatever just like drank beer and just like threw the beer cans next to the bed. And this is a house like in West Omaha, like very nice area. I won't talk about the rest of it, but anyway, like they did their own haircuts there, never cleaned up the hair. Yeah. And like there was so much like just like toys and Legos and cars and shit all over the family room that I used like a shovel to just like pick it up and like throw it in the trash can because there was just too much of it. So we filled up the entire dumpster. Like it was like muffin top dumpster. And then we filled up the entire U-Haul. And we were pretty proud of ourselves. We got that all cleaned out. And I mean, ever since then, he's been a great client, a great mentor, and everything else. So I guess, you know, it was probably worth it. But the funniest part of that, though, was when we go to leave, because I made Ralph drive the U-Haul. I'm hearing shit like move around in the back of the truck. And he's like, oh, that's normal stuff. It flies around back there. I'm like, is it normal for the fucking toaster to fall out of the back? Because we forgot to close it. And like, I look back and Bill's just like running up the hill, being like, stop. So obviously we had to stop and close the door. But
That's funny. God, above and beyond. That's good. No, that's a great story, actually.
yeah, it was
That's
something.
gross.
It was
People are
pretty
so
disgusting.
gross. People are disgusting.
It was like the largest donation of stuff ever given to the Open Door mission here. Filthy
That's
people.
awesome.
Filthy people.
Yeah, that's people are gross.
This is why I don't want like residential rentals, because I don't want to deal with that.
Yeah.
That's why I
All
like
it takes is one bad one.
Well, yeah, I mean, he had to like redo all the floors, all the paint. Like he had to like redo half the house. And I'm like, how much? Well, especially with that lady, even if she had paid rent the whole time, it still wouldn't have. I mean, and he pays cash for his houses anyway, so at least he cash flows more. But you know, I mean, he bought the house for like 150 and he rented it for like 1,100. And he probably had to do 30 grand worth of work, and he only collectively made, I don't know, 15 grand. So definitely in the hole first year.
Ugh. Well, that's fun. Not fun for him, but fun for you.
Oh, he didn't do anything. I cleaned it all up. But you know, that's just me. How do you?
Yeah.
Anyway. Well, that's about the gist. What I wanted to talk about today.
Good, man. I love it. Yeah, Omaha was great. Can't wait to go back. I'm coming back soon. I got to play Lost Rail one more time before seasons close or whatever. When did they stop playing golf out there?
You're embarrassed.
October, November? Oh, that was so bad, dude.
I mean,
Everything was just.
We actually get lucky sometimes and can like go play golf like on Thanksgiving. That's a rarity. I need to find out when Lost Rail is going to close for the year, because last year they closed in like September. So
So here's something. I might go to Kansas City in end of September.
Your family's there, right?
Yeah, my mom's family. So my grandpa's turning 97
Oh,
end
wow.
of September.
You have any desire to be 97 years old?
If I'm mobile, yes. If
I
I'm
say the
not,
same thing. Like if I'm like healthy
no.
and mobile, great. If I have like every disease known to man and I just like can't
Yeah,
die, then no, I obviously don't
yeah.
want to be alive at 97.
Yeah. Yeah, that's me. My grandpa can still get around though. It's crazy.
Jesus, how?
Uh he's
Does he
I don't know.
drive?
Not anymore. He did until like a couple years ago. Got in an accident and they were like, nope, that's not happening
What?
again.
Does he live in a home?
Yeah. Yeah, they have a house.
No, no,
Like
no, like no,
they
like no, like in a home, like an assisted
oh
living.
like a no, he lives in a house.
Who's
They have their own
they?
house still. Both my grandparents are still alive.
How
My
old's your
grandma's
grandma?
95, I think.
Oh my God.
94, 95.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, them Mexican genes. Well, I don't know what it is.
That's just old, dude.
It's old. It's my grandma's in worse shape. My grandma like can't remember anything. She has dementia
Oh,
or
oh no, that's too bad.
Alzheimer's or whatever. And so I think they have somebody that goes there and helps care for them at the house. But I know like all my mom's family's still out there. So, but I was getting to, if I go out there end of September, I don't know if it's easier to fly or like go from Kansas City to Omaha and finish the trip in Omaha for a couple days.
When are you going there?
His birthday is the 27th of September.
Hmm.
So I got to double check and see if my family, if they're going, when they're going, and if I could make a little trip out of it. Because the other option would be go to Omaha first and then fly to Kansas
What day?
City. So September 27th is his birthday. So
Mhm.
they're either going to do a party the weekend before or the weekend after. I just don't know yet.
Well, I ask because the Huskers have 3 home games in a row. We have, and I have to miss one of them for Hawaii, but I'm okay with that. But they have one on the 23rd, and then they have one on the 30th. So,
So it could make sense for me to come out the 27th or like 26th to Kansas City, or like maybe his birthday, 27th, 28th,
well, yeah,
fly
but
to
I mean,
Omaha Friday,
no,
Saturday,
you don't fly to
come
Omaha
back
from
Sunday.
Kansas.
Well, I'm not gonna have a car
You drive.
unless I rent something.
I don't even think there is like I mean, I think you have to fly from like Kansas City to St. Louis and then to Omaha. Like, I don't even think there's a flight.
Oh, really? There's no direct?
I don't even think there's like a flight from Omaha to Kansas City. But I
Okay.
love Kansas City, so I'd like totally be down to just come there for a couple days anyway,
Or that. Yeah.
and then road trip on back. We'll figure that out, but that sounds dope.
Yeah. But anyways, I know I always forget Kansas City's so close to Omaha.
I mean, yeah,
But
I can make it in like 2 hours.
that's
only
that
part that
close. It's only
sucks-
2 hours.
Yeah, it's only 2 hours.
Oh, that's easy.
Well, that's with me driving.
Well, it's normal. 3 hours then?
No, like 2.5.
2.5, 3.
But I mean, it's
Yeah,
always
see,
it's always funny because they like I always go to like Overland Park, which is like a suburb,
uh-huh.
and that always sucks because like I think I'm there when I get to Kansas City, and it's like, oh, so like a half an hour left of this shit now. I'm not a road trip person. It's not my favorite thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just not I just get bored way too easily. And I just can't. I just
That
can't.
2 hours not that bad though. 2.5
No,
hours.
2 hours is fine. I can do 2 hours.
Yeah. But like an actual like
Like,
Colorado.
oh my God. And people had to pee every like hour. Swear to God, I
Yeah.
saw every small town on the way to Colorado.
See, that's what kills the time.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, just sit in the car, hold it, let's roll.
Yeah.
And it's Sunday.
Yeah, I made it to
Sunday, I didn't really care because like we didn't have to be back for anything. And frankly, it's just disgusting here this week. Like I think it feels like 122.
Ugh. Yuck.
Gross. And it's humid.
I came on a perfect week. It was so nice.
I know. I don't know how Vince
was
planned it that way,
cold.
but we always get this like this just FU week in August, right before fall's gonna come, where it's just hot. And it just looks like death outside. And I mean, like you can chew the air right now. Like that's how just
Ugh. Yeah, no, I'm good. We had like a little cold front come through. We've had some rain the last few days.
And see, like people don't get it. They're like, oh, it's so hot in Arizona. I'm like, it is, but it's different.
It is different.
Here
So it's
you're
105
sweaty.
today.
Yeah, but see, like I would take that over what we got going on right now. It's awful.
Yeah. We have, let's see, 23% humidity right now. At least according to Apple weather. But tomorrow high 102. Tomorrow will be nice.
Here, let's see what this says. Yeah, like I was supposed to do that like lake video shoot and I postponed it anyway. I just did a smaller one yesterday, but I was like, ain't nobody want to be out here playing beach volleyball right now. It's 110 degrees outside. So we just kind of postponed that out of the way. But
Yeah.
that's right.
Well, we'll figure out next time I'm gonna come out because I want to play
Caleb,
that
one of the
course again.
people that I went up and talked to on Thursday last week, he's helping me recruit this rock star to my team. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Dope.
Yeah, they're like best friends. And I was straight up went up to him and I was like, you have a task to help me out with. And he got right on that. So in fact, he said this was funny.
Love it.
So now we're gonna have coffee next week because he anyway. There's another part to that I'll tell you after, but doesn't need to go on here. But it was just he's a good dude.
Love that.
What else you
Well,
got
sweet,
going on
man.
today?
That's about it. Just wrapping up goal stuff and all my random things that are on my to-do list today. A lot of random stuff today. Nothing, no appointments. Had PT this morning and closing tomorrow. So just making sure that's all set. Yeah, nothing too groundbreaking.
Yeah, I just get to go to
the
court
day.
tomorrow. That's my week. So
Oh, yeah. You ready for that? You got your speech
No.
all ready?
no, there's no speech. I'm just
Get your opening statement, opening argument, whatever it's called.
I'm not feeling this. It's just not my thing.
Maybe they won't bring you up to the
It's
stand.
weird because so it's actually a contempt hearing, okay? And because the wife isn't agreeing to reduce the price because she wants to hire a different realtor just to see if marketing will do anything different. And so it's actually a contempt hearing because she won't lower the price. So she very well might end up like going to jail after this hearing. So it's funny because like I'm like all freaked out about like the questioning that the opposing side's going to do. And her attorney was like, he's like, Michael, I guarantee you when I question you, they're going to object everything because it's irrelevant to the contempt hearing. And he goes, so if they object to everything I ask you, they really have nothing to ask you then when you go up there because they can't, if they objected it when I did it, then they can't validate it by asking you that when you go up on the stand, which basically means like they have nothing to ask you because they're saying it's not valid or relevant. So that'll be interesting. I'll be taking some Xanax for sure, but we'll see. It's just not really.
Yeah, that's crazy. I've never been a part. I don't know if I ever want to be a part of something like that, to be honest.
I'm really only doing it because I just I want to help her anyway. And I mean, honestly, I don't even think like, but it's weird because like the listing agent right now is in my office and I don't want to like badmouth her at all because they were asking questions like, well, what hasn't she done that you'll do? And I'm like, I'm not going to speak to what she hasn't done or has done. I'm just going to speak to what I do. And I'm like, I guess you can ask her if she's done any of those things. And if she hasn't, then you can make up your own decision. But I'm like, I'm not going to speak the will of that.
Yeah, that's
But
fine.
what great came out of it was that Philip, the attorney who works with like primarily just wealthy people, loves everything that I've said so far. And he wants to go grab lunch sometime because he wants me to be his realtor referral for all of his divorced clients. So,
oh, dude, that's huge.
I was like, sweet.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I was like, well, hopefully I don't fuck up tomorrow.
Nah, you'll be fine, dude.
And then Philip's like, you sucked. I can't have you up here anymore. It's all right.
Yeah, you'll be good.
That was actually going to be because one of the questions they asked the jury today was, you know, does anyone have anything like if this spills over into tomorrow, does anyone have anything like an emergency type of thing or whatever that they wouldn't be able to be here tomorrow? Because obviously they don't want like a juror being like, all right, I mean, I know he's not guilty, but I got a place to be, so let's go. Like,
yeah,
So that was gonna be my out, was I was gonna say I was subpoenaed to court tomorrow, so I can't go. And they, I mean, I'm pretty sure that would have bought me out of it, but
I bet that would have. Yeah,
so,
would have been good. But
yeah, I agree.
dope, dude.
Yeah, man. Well, all right, dude. I'm gonna go. I've got my mom's birthday dinner tonight, so I'm gonna go do that later,
Go.
and just gonna work on some
Have
stuff.
fun.
We got my accountability spreadsheet being made right now that I got from Miss Heidi. So
Oh, yeah, that's amazing. I know we made one too for ours, or it's in the works.
yeah, I mean, I
Send it to me when you get it. I'd love to
I
see
will.
it.
I did the majority of it, and then I have Katie doing the rest of it, and then she'll just and then she'll just duplicate it, make tabs for everybody else. So it'll be,
Yeah,
so you know,
that's what I got to do. I got to
it'll
get
be
back on
interesting
that.
to see how many people use it.
Use
I
it?
suppose, but
Yeah,
so yeah,
dope.
cool. Well, all
Have
right,
fun,
bro.
man.
Guess we'll
Good talking.
see you next week.
Yep. Let's do it.
Later.
Later.